Bit of a situation here. My tent pole has just broken. So this little video is why wild camp? I'm out again, and I'm in Newcastle County Down, in the foot of the Mourne Mountains. I'm heading up towards Donard Forest. Bit of a situation here. My tent pole has just broken, so luckily I brought a piece of fixing. That's just some gaffer tape with a bit of pole. As I said, I broke a tent pole putting it up, not in a gale or anything, just bent round putting it up. Maybe I was a little heavy-handed or whatever, but no crisis. I just used a bit of pole, shoved over the top, and always bring some gaffer tape, and that's going to do the job. I'm out for a couple of days, so that'll do it until I get back, and then I'll see what can be done as a permanent fixture. But really, like I say, no crisis. 3:45, and we are starting to lose the light, as you can see. Lovely evening, bit nippy, have to say, but just a fair breeze, and it's dry. I'm here in Donard Forest. It's just gone 7 o'clock, and I've just had my dins. Yeah, it's a pretty nippy night, I have to say. Thankfully I've got this far going. It's given me a bit of heat, but it's still bloody cold. So I'd like to give a shout out to some of my old favourites. Colin at Frozen Mist, of course. Great to see Colin's been out a bit solo and with his friend, the chef, and the dog. Do you know? I think the dog's called. Yeah, I think, and his friend Ben. I'm sure it is the chef. Yeah, great show. If you get a chance to watch it, well, make a time to go and watch it. It's a great show. Frozen Mist Wild Camping. And of course, the very excellent Jerry McVeigh, who should really have his own TV show. To be honest, his footage is fantastic. Gives you a great insight into where he is. Anyway, I'll get back to my whiskey and my fire, and I'm sure I'll chat before bed. I've retired to the tent. It's got a wee bit nippy out there. The wind's got up a wee bit, but it's just a strong breeze. Not like the gale I was in last week in Donard Forest. Yeah, strong breeze, but a wind chill factor in amongst it, and it just got a bit too fresh to be comfortable out there. So I've just let the fire die, and I've come in for a few whiskies. So I'll catch you later. Morning everyone. Definitely a colder night. See my tent there, there's a little bit of condensation inside, but not much. It was a nippy night, I have to say. A bit colder than I thought it was going to be. Got a decent enough night's sleep, and yeah, I'm going to get myself some breakfast and try and sort out my tent pole. Well, here's the situation with the tent pole that broke. The elasticated string obviously snapped with it. So this is what we have. This is part of my tent repair. It's just a bit of tubing. It fits over a broken pole. I had gaffer tape wrapped around it, which I attached to one side. The other side, the broken side, well, they're both broken obviously, but the other side, where are we? Here we go. This one holds the part that slots in, like the connector part here. It broke around about here, which is a bit of a nuisance, but it's okay. That part is slotted in and they are sealed together. They're taped together, just so they don't lose this smaller part, and that is going to fit into here, and that is going to be our joint, our temporary joint until now. And then I'll go down and try and find an old tent pole or something with a, hopefully these are, what are the 7mm or something like that, 8mm poles. Hopefully I'll find an old tent and I'll just take one of the pole pieces from it, and hopefully it'll just slot over that, and I'll just replace it with that. I'll tie the string through everything and tie it together again. These things happen, and that is why I prefer tents like the Lanshan 1 and the Lanshan 2, which just rely on your trekking poles. The Lanshan 1's excellent. If you break one trekking pole, you only need the other. Look, sorted. That's a wrap, and as you can see, no trace apart from a bit of flat grass. That's the way we want it, folks. There's the morning. Had breakfast, coffee, stuff like that, and it's a nice morning. It's fresh, but it's dry. I'm just going to head down through Donard Forest and maybe just go over some of the mountains around this local area. I'm taking this track up because it's a path less trodden, and I like that. As much as I understand why people want to walk on up to Slieve Donard and around all the well-trodden paths, I actually like going a lot of the time where just the sheep go and stuff like that, because of the lack of people, to be honest, the lack of rubbish, the not sort of ready-made campsites where people have left their litter and whatever crap they brought with them. There are natural spots up here for a pitch. You wouldn't say any of them are perfect, but if you wild camp a lot, you'll know that a bit of flat dry ground is all you can really ask for. I've got my wee fire going now on the wood collected for this evening. Had absolutely no problems getting the tent up with the dodgy pole. So I walked right over there, up the Spinkwe, followed the Spinkwe on up, then over Slieve Donard, I think that is, and right on over Slieve Donard, down through Donard Forest, cut through across the boggy field to Mourne Forest, and back up to the campsite here. It wasn't so long in mileage, but very long in that the terrain was quite tough, boggy, bit of heather, marsh, rocks, uphill, downhill, you know, that makes it tiring. Wild campers often get asked, why do you do this? And that's actually quite difficult to answer. The thing is, we may all do it for different reasons, or many reasons. Some do it to get away from the rat race. Some do it for a sense of getting back to nature, to joining in again, not being in the concrete jungle all the time, and at least having some time in the natural world. Personally, there is also Stoicism involved. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Stoicism or what a Stoic is, I'm not sure I see myself a Stoic as such. There's been many famous Stoics over the years, way back to Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome at the time, Seneca, many famous Stoics, and they had a different slant on what Stoicism is. My personal brand is this sense that you don't really appreciate what you have until you don't have it. By that, I mean hot running water, a lovely shower, hot running water, it's fantastic. You really appreciate it when you've missed it for a while. Central heating, a lovely warm cozy bed, all these things are excellent, but if you just see them constantly, they lose their value. And my Stoicism brings me back to earth. When I go home and get a hot shower, and I can just go in, make myself a dinner with a fridge full of food and cold beer, a cupboard full of food, an oven, gas hob, all those things make life simple, and we really don't appreciate it enough. I'm personally under the impression that all those who wild camp, especially those who wild camp out of season, like now, late autumn, and in the winter, and in the bad weather and the good weather, those who do long distance hikes, multi-night camps, I believe all you guys are closet stoics. You just don't know it. 2020 has been a toughie. Now, there's a few ways to look at this. It's been pretty bad, obviously, because of the pandemic and the global illness and the global loss of life, the damage to economies globally. It's going to set us all back a bit. And we've got people thinking it's a goddamn crisis because they didn't get at least one of their package holidays to Spain this year. This is where it might have some saving grace, because it brings people back to earth and appreciate what they do have. Not getting a package holiday to Spain is not a crisis. Okay, it's not good. I personally would rather go somewhere around the Adriatic, but that's neither here nor there. What it will do is make people appreciate each other, seeing each other, going to the pub and having a beer without social distancing, actually joining in, having a real social life and appreciating those who are part of it. I don't normally do desserts, but tonight's treat is going to be courtesy of my friend I met on the West Highland Way, Daniel, and it's going to be lemon, hot lemon, as in like hot lemon tea, which is just great. And these babies, packet of dates, stoned dates, absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Daniel, you changed my life. I've been eating dates for a month. I just love them, and they are fantastic to take on a wild camp. They're just like nature's sweeties. They're just great. So I'm going to have some lemon with dates. Excellent. And a quick shout out to Bev, who I also met on the West Highland Way. Thanks for your message, Bev. Really appreciate that. Yeah. And sorry I can't reply because it's impossible to on YouTube, the way you've sent the message. But yeah, lovely meeting you. And yeah, I'm hoping for many more adventures in the future. And I hope you do too.